What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about how Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time could be the best Crash Bandicoot game we've ever gotten. So, if you've noticed over the past couple days, I've been talking about some games that are releasing in October. We're obviously only around 2 weeks, and what, like a day or so away from Crash coming out. So, there's going to be more videos. Crash, I know I've done Star Wars Squadrons, Watch Dogs, lots of stuff. So, we're going to be talking about October games quite a lot over the next little bit. I wanted to start off with this kind of a opinion piece, this opinion video of why I believe it. I really do. You know, Crash has been through quite a lot, and with this game, I feel like we're already coming at it with a very optimistic kind of point of view, but also just a sense of like victory, if that makes sense. He was gone for so long, okay? After some mediocre outings, and then we get him back with these remakes, right? Which I thought did phenomenal, and this is really the best example, and as of right now, one of the only, or maybe the only, of how you can do this right, this remake, where, I mean, obviously, again, you take so much time off, you come, you hit us with the original three, some really, really good games. They're reimagined, they're a little bit different, they get some people upset because they changed a couple different things, but they're so good. They bring everybody back to the past. At the same time, those games are, I think, fundamentally still really solid, and they still work now, so it brings in a new audience. You give us team racing. That's obviously an amazing game that was really popular back then, really popular now. So you hit us with the double whammy, and then now all of a sudden we get this brand new game. This was the point. This was the whole point of the remakes, and bag on Activision all you want, and I've certainly have done in the past, and I'm not afraid to do in the future, but this is, I mean, as successful as it gets, giving us something that we wanted, and obviously, again, they had to test the waters, which they did, and they did it very successfully, and then the success of those two games led to Crash 4. And this game, in my opinion, has everything it takes to be a really good game. It's got the soul of what Crash Bandicoot is, but it's also doing all of these brand new... I mean, if you look at the gameplay of everything we've seen, of all these different levels, of the different masks, of the different powers, this game, I mean, looks and feels as much as to the original Crashes as you can possibly get. And I think there's a lot of value in that, because you have to do that, right? You have to please people that have done it, because ultimately, we've supported those games. We're the reason... Well, I mean, all of us collectively are the reason why this game happened. So you have to give us, what we love. And so I think, again, automatically you're coming at it from a point of victory where it's like, I think we should pretty much assume we're going to get classic Crash things that we really like. At the same time, to take it to the next level, I think it's going to be, well, firstly, it's a story that I think is very aware of itself, and I love that. Crash stories just in general, I mean, they're not winning awards, okay, they're nothing to write home about, but this one, I mean, ignoring certain things, but also taking certain things and all that, but again, being very aware, like talking about, like, how many times have you faced, Cortex, and so only a couple times, and, obviously that number doesn't sound right, stuff like that. I mean, those are things that, again, the story is probably going to be nothing massively special, but if it's a story that's aware of itself and is fun and enjoyable and just knows what it's trying to do, knows the history of Crash, I mean, you really can't go wrong there. And then all that's left is the levels, and the levels seem, again, very much a mix of what we know, mixed with we have to do some new things. So obviously, like the chasing levels, there were different enemies, there were different locations. Obviously, the game continues to look really good. I know some people don't like the direction they've taken Crash. I think that's completely fine. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I get it. I'm okay with it. I think they all look fine. I think that graphically the game just looks really beautiful in the art style that they're going for. But I mean, I just can't wait. I can't wait to play as the different characters, to be able to play as Cortex, Coco, Crash, even Dingle Dial, right? I mean, all these different characters. I mean, this is an amazing thing. And then the powers. I mean, look, this game has to be challenging. That's the thing that I think you can't make the mistake of is, and I think any Crash fan does know, these games are difficult. These are not like walk in the park. They may look like it, maybe to an outsider they may look like it, but when you jump in there are some truly challenging levels. And then besides that, the kind of bonus stuff you can do in this game, basically collecting everything, right? Beating in the best time, all that kind of stuff, You need to be really, really good. And these levels are very challenging, especially if you try and do them, perfectly. There's some levels literally designed to drive you insane and to just kill you over and over again. So, I mean, those are things that are important to any Crash game. And so I think it's going to obviously be important to this game. And again, the gameplay that we've seen so far, I think backs it up. It does look like it's a mix of old and new. I like the power. I really do. I love the powers. I think that they're simplistic enough where they make sense, where they don't break anything that's happened in the past, 20 years with this game, but they're also complex enough where they add a brand new level of things to just the map, in terms of what they can actually, so like slowing time, creating things out of, like all of this different stuff, like that's simple enough in concept, but when you're watching somebody play it, personally, I can see how, holy Jesus, like this can be something that if you're going to put this on one of those harder levels, or you're going to make us, get like a perfect, again, whatever you want to say in these levels. And then we know there's like the challenge rooms, there's all that kind of stuff. I mean, it can get super, super difficult. And these new masks or these new powers, just basically in general, I think they can help it get there. So, in my opinion, it really does. It's got everything that it needs. It's got, I think, the loyalty and trust of old-time fans, like myself. I mean, I grew up, Crash was that game for me. Crash, and then as I got a little bit older, Sly Cooper. Those were my two games. I know some people did, Jack and Daxter, some did Ratchet and Clank. So, there's a lot, Spyro. There's a lot of games, childhood games I think a lot of us grew up with. Crash was mine, and then it was Sly Cooper, and those games mean so much to me. So I am one of those people. I am expecting, take me down memory lane, just like the Insane Trilogy did, but now we have to push it forward. Now you're on your own. You're doing brand new levels. You're doing brand new. You could introduce brand new characters, which in terms of the masks, right? They are all this stuff. This is your show, and you take it to the next level. I mean, this is a really, in a way, it's kind of scary because it's a really big jump for this developer. This is the first time we've gotten this in so long, and so I think the pressure I think is kind of high, but at the same time, I'm kind of taking it easy. I'm really just expecting a really solid performance. You know what I mean? Just like all across the board, I'm expecting to jump in. I'm expecting to be challenged, but at the same time, like feel good when I complete it. I'm expecting some really cool brand new levels, brand new areas, and all that kind of stuff. And I think as long as they do that, not only can it be one of the better games of 2020, it can honestly be one of the best, if not the best, Crash games. Now, I'm going to go off the board here. Crash Bash is a masterpiece, and don't argue with me about it. It is insane. That one I would prefer a remake of. I don't know if anything will ever beat Crash Bash. No, but in all honesty, I mean, some people have their favorites. Some people really like different Crash games. Even the people that are heavy, team racing people, these kind of games may not even be, completely up their alley. I'm not really sure. I'm not really in tune with the people that are like full-on team racing people, but they're not into, these kind of, I don't know, whatever you want to call them kind of games. I'd be interested to see if there's people out there. So, maybe in some ways, it can never fully compete, but I don't know. I honestly feel like it's got a really, really good chance. So, guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Are you pumped for this Crash game? What are you expecting from it? Do you think it can, be the best Crash game of all time? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed to this YouTube channel, Podcast Now. Hit the bell icon so you guys know when all these videos go up, and I'll be continuing to talk about Crash only, again, a couple weeks until this game comes out. I'll be playing it. We'll have videos on it. I'll probably live stream it. Lots of stuff Crash related over the next couple weeks, and I hope to see you guys there.